The Amazon documentary All or Nothing Tottenham Hotspur was released earlier this evening. This is the review of episodes 1, 2 and 3. Welcome back to another video. Hope you're all keeping safe and well. In this video, I will be reviewing and going through the first 3 episodes of the All or Nothing Tottenham Hotspur documentary that has just been released. So if you don't want any spoilers and you haven't watched it yet and you don't want to hear what the content is in these 3 episodes, I suggest that you do switch off now and perhaps revisit this video and give me your thoughts after you've watched it. If you want to know everything that was in the first 3 episodes of the All or Nothing Tottenham Hotspur documentary, then carry on watching, because what a 3 episodes it was. I thought that there were going to be a lot of cringe-worthy moments. I thought there was going to be a lot of moments where opposition clubs would be bantering us as a club, bantering our manager, bantering our players, etc. But I must say that I was thoroughly impressed with the 3 episodes that I've just watched. Jose Mourinho in particular. I know the press, when they watched it last week, they said that after the first 22 minutes of the first episode, it kind of turned into the Jose Mourinho show. It does, but it is in a very nice way. Our manager speaks a lot of sense. A very nice guy, a very good man management style from him, and his attitudes are absolutely fantastic. So the first episode of the All or Nothing Tottenham Hotspur documentary, it started with Chairman Daniel Levy saying about ambition. He said that people and fans think that he is not ambitious, and running a football club is the hardest business that he has ever run. Really promoting the stadium. The programme as a whole really promotes the stadium. You know, when you've got such a stadium, you know, we've got the best stadium in the world, you know, it's going to be promoted very well. It then goes on to show the Ajax clip, of course, winning 3-2 away at Ajax, putting us into the Champions League final. Very emotional, really. You know, it takes us all right back. Every single Tottenham fan remembers who they were with, where they were watching the game, etc. when that final Lucas Moura goal went in, putting us into the Champions League final. So it was quite an emotional moment watching that again. Tom Hardy, the narrator, states that it was the best moment in recent history. Of course it was. Daniel Levy was talking about Pochettino. He then said that the club earned £100 million from you know, getting into that final. It then shows Pochettino crying, another emotional moment. And then it shows Tottenham losing the Champions League final. Tom Hardy, the narrator, then goes on to talk about Christian Eriksen, Toby Alderweireld and Jan Vertonghen all being out of contract at the end of the 2019-2020 season. It then shows a clip from the Audi Cup, and I remember this well. I was out in Germany, out in Munich, watching the games in the Audi Cup, which of course Tottenham won. But Maurizio Pochettino was there saying that he is only the coach and not the manager, and perhaps the club should change his title. I remember being in Germany thinking that is not a good thing to say, and I suppose that was the start of the downward spiral for Pochettino. Daniel Levy was then interviewed again, and he said the engine of the club is in the team, and he absolutely hates it when Tottenham Hotspur lose a match. The documentary then focuses on the Newcastle game, which of course we lost 1-0 at home, and then lost away at Leicester. That was just 2 wins in the first 8 matches last season. And then that dreaded game, the Bayern Munich game, where we lost 7-2 at home. The fans leaving, Levy looking very annoyed at losing in such a dreadful fashion. It then talks about the Liverpool away defeat, losing 2-1, and then, of course, the Everton 1-1 draw at Goodison Park. Daniel Levy is in it again, talking about the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium turning into the NFL Stadium, talking about the 600 staff that he's got at the stadium that he looks after. And then the documentary goes into the Red Star away game that Tottenham won very comfortably. Pochettino was asked about his position again, stating will he be the Tottenham Hotspur manager at the end of the season. And Pochettino said that he wants to finish his contract at the club. Harry Kane said that performances are not good enough and you want to play for Pochettino and not let him down. Sissoko said he always wants to play and he doesn't want to see Pochettino getting the sack. Heung-min Son said he is always very grateful for what Pochettino has done for him. And Dele Alli said he has 100% trust in Pochettino and he is a proven manager. So it's true what the journalist said last week about Pochettino being in the first 22 minutes of the first episode, and then it sort of turned into the Jose Mourinho show. The Sheffield United 1-1 draw at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Tottenham went down to 14th, 7 points from bottom, and then after that, Pochettino was fired. All of the media announcements, all of the media reports, you hear them all in the documentary. Glenn Hoddle said that Tottenham needs some silverware. Then you hear the fans say he's magic, you know, all about Pochettino. And then it goes to Daniel Levy, who said that, you know, there was lots of heartache, 5.5 years, very difficult to let Pochettino go. His heart didn't want to do it, but his head said that he has to do it. He said that his relationship with Pochettino was great and they had many fun times together. And then you see the scenes of Pochettino's office being cleared. Jose Mourinho then walks into Hotspur Way and is appointed Tottenham Hotspur head coach. A 45-page contract is presented to Daniel Levy to sign for Jose Mourinho. Mourinho says that he has received lots of nice messages from the staff at Manchester United. Levy then says that there are 2 top coaches in the world. Jose Mourinho is one of them. Who else do you think he was referring to? Is it Jurgen Klopp? Is it Pep Guardiola? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Jose Mourinho then held up the Tottenham shirt to have his photo done with it. He then said that fans think that he is a guy that never smiles and he's very ruthless. And he then laughed and said that there is some truth in that. He is then seen unpacking boxes and settling in to his new office at Hotspur Way. He puts his glasses on and then straight to work. Jose then says that every player must give 100% all of the time. This next bit was one bit I was really looking forward to, the players' reactions of the Pochettino sacking. They go into the canteen, Harry Kane walks in and said that Pochettino had absolutely no idea that he was going to get the sack. Jan Vertonghen looked very surprised, thinking that he knew days before, and he simply didn't. Kane said that he phoned him, and he said that he didn't have any idea whatsoever. Daniel Levy took him in the room and said, you know, we want you to go, and that was it. He cleared his things up and left. Jan Vertonghen, as I say, looked very, very surprised. Hugo and Toby always wanted to work with him. You know, talking about Jose Mourinho. In particular, Toby was very excited about working with Jose Mourinho. He said that, you know, throughout his whole career, he wished that one day he was working with Mourinho. Harry Winks went on to say that Jose will be very, very tactical, and he has never seen so much coverage for Tottenham Hotspur Football Club since Jose Mourinho took over. A very, very funny bit and very interesting bit in the first episode. A clip on TV is on in Jose Mourinho's office, and someone said on the TV, Jose Mourinho is past his best, and then Jose Mourinho switched the TV off and went F off. I must say, another thing that really impressed me about manager Jose Mourinho is they were playing in a training game. Jose Mourinho was actually putting the cones out. You would expect that he would have lots of staff to do these types of things, but he gets very, very involved, putting the cones out. Whatever is, you know, needs to be done, he is there doing it. They come together. He introduces his staff to the players in his first training session. Jose says, I belong nowhere else but the game. And then playing a game of football with his clipboard in his hand. You know, he's kicking the ball. He's getting really involved in the training session with the clipboard in hand, which I thought was quite funny. Day 2 of his training session, Jose says to Harry Kane that he has he had a very good relationship with Mauricio Pochettino. He said he likes that. And then Harry Kane said, yes, I want to be like a Ronaldo or a Messi. Jose Mourinho says to Harry Kane, "We can win because of you being here at Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, and you can explode." Sacramento, the assistant manager for Jose Mourinho, come into Jose's office and said to Mourinho, "Sissoko has a great influence on the changing room." Jose Mourinho actually looked quite surprised about that. Mourinho then said that the players are just too nice, they're nice boys, and Eric Dyer is the only conflicting player. Interestingly as well, Daniel Levy went into Jose Mourinho's office and said, "Hi Jose, everything okay?" Daniel Levy sat down, Jose Mourinho and him had a quite a lengthy chat, and Mourinho was very, very honest, and I love Jose Mourinho's honesty, I really, really do. He said Dele Alli doesn't train very well, Kane trains very well, and then he said that Sir Alex Ferguson told me to buy Dele Alli, which then Daniel Levy laughed. It's then the night before the West Ham United game, of course, Jose Mourinho's first game in charge as Tottenham head coach. He explained very well exactly what he wanted from the players. He then said, "Trust me, the day I'm not happy with you, you will know about it. If I want you to leave, you will know about it." He was very, very honest and open with the players. He then gave the team against West Ham that would be, that would be playing at the Olympic Stadium the next day. He looked at Dele Alli and said, "You are effing a lazy guy in training." He then said to the whole of the Tottenham squad that the communication needs to be better, that Tottenham are nice guys, and we don't want to be nice guys. You have to be a bunch of C's. I just couldn't believe he said it. I know that that bit was leaked in the last couple of weeks, but to say that, you need to be a bunch of C's. But ultimately, Tottenham didn't win an away game for 10 months, under Pochettino. And Mourinho come straight in, and it was very important for him to get the winning start. Lots of fighting talk from Jose Mourinho, and lots of fighting talk from Harry Kane. And that is where episode 1 ends. And I tell you what, after watching all of that, this programme just grips you. You just can't go away from it. You have to just carry on watching. And as I say, I've been very, very impressed. That is the end of episode 1. So episode 2 of the All or Nothing Tottenham Hotspur documentary, it started with the West Ham United away game, which Tottenham ended up winning 3-2. Jose Mourinho's first game in charge at Spurs. It started with Jose Mourinho shouting to Dele Alli, "Your goal, you are the man," about his contribution in one of the goals. Very impressive from Dele Alli, actually. 2-0 at half-time. Jose Mourinho said the words, "Every set piece, it is a moment of fear." He said that at half-time to the Tottenham players. Tottenham went 3-0 up, and eventually we won the game 3-2. We gave 2 sloppy goals away at the end of the match. Jose Mourinho said it was a very important win for the boys and a very important start for me. Tottenham went from 14th to 10th in Jose Mourinho's first game. Then the documentary follows Serge Aurier. He kicks the ball at a cup of tea, and he just leaves it. The tea goes absolutely everywhere, and he just walks out, and he just leaves it, doesn't clear it up. Dele Alli then says that Serge Aurier has no manners whatsoever, and then Jose Mourinho says to Serge Aurier in training, "What the F is that?" Because he just didn't think that he was putting in enough effort. Jose Mourinho then admitted that he is very demanding. He said that the future is more important than the past. Jose then gets a tour around Lily White House to meet all of the staff, smiling with the staff, taking selfies, etc. And Jose Mourinho then went on to say about the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium being an incredible place. Daniel Levy said that Tottenham want to be known as a caring club and a club that is making a difference. You then see Serge Aurier visiting a school. He then talks about growing up and it being tough, etc. Jose Mourinho is then on the training pitch and says about Lucas Moura, Heung-min Son and Harry Kane. He said it's going to be very, very difficult to sign better players than what Tottenham have got at the moment. Dyer then talks to Jose Mourinho and says that it is very special to play under Jose Mourinho. He's always been a huge fan of the Portuguese manager. Really interesting, actually. Eric Dyer in Jose Mourinho's office, and Mourinho says to Dyer, "Why haven't you been playing in recent games under Maurizio Pochettino?" Dyer then says that Pochettino, the former gaffer, always wanted us to have long recovery times after injuries, which is very, very true. It's very evident. We all saw that as fans. And then Dyer said that he had told Pochettino if he wasn't part of his plans, then he would move on. So I think, had Pochettino still been our manager now, I think that Eric Dyer probably wouldn't be a Tottenham player. The next part, you've got the Olympiacos game. Of course, Jose Mourinho's first Champions League game as Tottenham boss. The voiceover is actually me. They actually chose a clip of me saying about us not winning trophies in such a long time, and that is the reason that Jose Mourinho is in town. I said that we hadn't won a European trophy since '84, we haven't won a League Cup since 2008, we haven't won an FA Cup since 1991, and we haven't won a League Championship since 1961, and that is why Jose Mourinho is here to deliver us a trophy. Jose Mourinho then said, "I want to win matches and make sure the fans are happy. You all know the importance of a game. We have to play well and improve, always improving." He then says to Serge Aurier about marking, he said he is capable of doing a shit penalty, and I am very afraid of you. He marks people's cards very, very quickly. You know, he takes players to one side, he talks to them, he wants them to know exactly how he feels about them. There's no talking behind people's backs. Jose Mourinho is very, very direct, and I really like that about him, and you know, he's come across really, really well in these 3 episodes that I've watched so far. It then shows in the Champions League game against Olympiacos at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium that Olympiacos went 2-0 up. Jose Mourinho made a very, very bold decision, taking off Eric Dyer in the 29th minute, putting Eriksen on. Dele Alli then, of course, got our goal. Half-time, it was 2-1. And then Jose Mourinho said, "Calm." That's all he kept saying. Calm, calm, calm. Lots of mistakes, lots of panic. You all need to calm. He was just so calm in the changing room. It was incredible. It was a delight to watch, actually, of how calm Jose Mourinho was. It was a great team talk. He said, you know, the team need to be very calm, as I said. Sacramento then gave instructions to Serge Aurier about joining the attack. And then the rest is history. Serge Aurier got a great goal in that game. He actually put Tottenham 3-2 up. The ball boy got a great mention for the goal because he was very, very fast. And Jose Mourinho then went over to high-five him. After that game, the documentary shows that Dele Alli went to one of the fans to give his shirt away. And I must say, as a regular to home and away matches, I see this a lot. Dele Alli is actually one of the best players to be given his shirt out. Heung-min Son is very good as well. You know, the fans mean a lot to them. Eric Dyer is then seen saying about him being subbed off after half an hour. He said it's never nice to come off the field of play. Jose Mourinho then really praises the ball boy. He said that he understands and reads the game very, very well. After that, you see a clip of Mourinho inviting the ball boy to come and meet all of the players, which is a wonderful moment. It really is. And then there's lots of weird and funny things at Hotspur Way. Dele Alli talking about toothbrushes. Do you put water on it first, or do you put the toothpaste on it? Just some really funny and random moments in this documentary as well. The focus then is on Dele Alli. Jose Mourinho invites Dele Alli into his office. Mourinho says, "I like you as a player and you are a nice kid. I want to be your coach with a good connection." Dele then has his arms crossed, which I thought was very interesting from a psychology point of view. You know, arms crossed, being very defensive, sitting there. Mourinho says that you've had your ups and downs, and consistency and moments, you know, they need to be better. If he wants to be a top player, or is he a lifestyle party boy, which I thought was quite funny. He said that Dele Alli needs to think about his own career, and, you know, Mourinho weren't going to say anything to him and demand anything from him. He said, you need to look at yourself and realise exactly what you want to achieve in your career. Mourinho says to Dele Alli just before he leaves his office, demand more from yourself. And then he says, "Thank you, mate," which I thought was really, really funny. it's so weird to hear Jose Mourinho saying things like that, particularly to the players. He even said to Dele Alli, you can tell me to F off if you like, if you don't like something that I say to you, which I can't imagine any Tottenham player actually saying to Mourinho. It's like they would be kicked out the door, but apparently Jose Mourinho brings that on of, he wants these players to be like that with him. Jose Mourinho then talks to Daniel Levy again and said that Eric Dyer should play in the next match because he took him off after 29-30 minutes of the previous game. Bournemouth at home, lots of jokes with the staff. Again, another moment that I didn't think that I'd see from Jose Mourinho. He lays down and says, "Wake me up before the game." The staff then have a bit of banter and say, no, we'll leave you here and we'll play the game without you. Hugs before the game in the changing room from Mourinho on the players, which I thought was lovely as well. And Harry Kane done the team talk again, which I thought was really interesting. Lots of team talks from Harry Kane, lots of swearing, lots of aggression, lots of effing. In my opinion, I don't think that all of the effing, really suits Harry Kane, but Jose Mourinho wants that aggression from the leaders, and bring it on. If that's what's going to get the best out of players, then so be it. In the game, Tottenham were 1-0 up at half-time. Mourinho said at half-time, not aggressive enough, and he uses that expression a lot, not aggressive enough. He always wants the players to be more aggressive than what they are. He always comes across, throughout the whole 3 episodes of this documentary so far, he said that Tottenham are just not aggressive and we are too nice and we need to just be, a little bit more forceful. He said that, you have to win the second ball. The game ended 3-2. Dele Alli put us 2-0 up. Sissoko, of all people, then put us 3-2 up. We conceded 2 late goals. But at the end of this game, Jose Mourinho had managed Tottenham for 3 games and we won all 3. Another lovely moment from Jose Mourinho in the changing room. After Tottenham beat Bournemouth 3-2, he came into the changing room and said Chelsea have lost as well. So that is 6 points. It is not 3 points today, it is 6 points. Last week it was 12. It is constant encouragement for his players and his team. And I love Jose Mourinho's attitude. I must say, watching this documentary, these 3 episodes, I've really, really warmed to Mourinho. I love his attitude, with the players, certainly. And then, talking to the press after the Bournemouth game, he said, I couldn't have asked any more of Dele Alli. So, episode 3 of the All or Nothing Tottenham Hotspur documentary. It started at Old Trafford, the first defeat for Jose Mourinho as Tottenham head coach. Up to this point, we've played 3 games under Mourinho, winning all 3. Went to Old Trafford, lost 2-1. And Jose Mourinho said, we have very bad feelings about the game, a group of good guys. And then he said to the players that the players were hiding and the attitude was just simply not good enough. And something that was really interesting, and I absolutely love to see this, Harry Kane interrupted Jose Mourinho, and Mourinho said, yes, fine. Harry Kane then said, this is every game. We seem to be scared. The players are scared about going out of positions, and it's unacceptable. And Jose Mourinho said, yes, it is unacceptable. And I love that from Harry Kane. I thought that was fantastic from Harry Kane, the fact that Harry Kane was showing real leadership there of saying, this isn't good enough. This isn't good enough. All season, we've had games like this. Players are not playing properly. They're worried about being out of position. And sometimes you need people to just stand up and say something, because that scene, it was like every single player was just sat there not saying a word, not saying a single word. And I'm so glad that someone actually stood up, being it Harry Kane as well, and saying that it's just simply not good enough and it is unacceptable. Jose then said, be a bastard every 50-50, go and win. And then Jose Mourinho said, Manchester United beat us that night because they beat us on attitude. Jose Mourinho then went on to say, we need a united group and a solid mentality. The very next day, he organised a training game team bonding competition that went down very well. All of the players were smiling. All of the players were laughing. He got involved as well. And that's what I love about Mourinho. He always gets stuck in. Like I said, about the previous episode, him putting the cones out. Really gets stuck in on the training sessions rather than, being a manager that's just standing there with a clipboard on the sidelines just shouting orders. fixtures. He gets involved like he's one of the lads, like he's one of the players, and I love to see that. Christian Eriksen, Jose was talking to Daniel Levy again in his office, and they were talking all about the Christian Eriksen situation, about the new contract. Daniel Levy said it is so complicated with him. None of us know what the truth is. And Daniel Levy just looked so frustrated with the Christian Eriksen situation. Up next is the Burnley home game in December 2019, and they are in the changing room. Jose Mourinho says to Harry Kane, "Who speaks, me or you?" Harry Kane says, "Yes, you're fine to do it. Yeah, you speak." Jose Mourinho then gives the team talk and says, we could be 6 points away if we win, from the top four, and you will all have a day off. Harry Kane scores, Lucas Moura scores, Heung-min Son scored that wonderful goal at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, just virtually taking it past every single Burnley player, which ultimately won the goal of the season in the Premier League. The half-time score was 3-0. Jose Mourinho said at half-time, a lot of amazing things and improvements. We can still improve. A clean sheet should be a collective objective. He said the game isn't over. 3-0 up at half-time against Burnley. Jose Mourinho was still saying, get the job done and focus. In the second half, Kane and Sissoko scored, and then, of course, Tottenham won the game 5-0. Afterwards, Jose Mourinho said, very happy, clean sheet, aggressive, and the players were then singing "Oh, Musa Sissoko" in the players' changing room, which I thought was a wonderful moment. Heung-min Son was then interviewed after the Burnley game, saying it was his best goal of his life so far. Jose Mourinho was shouting in the background, saying, "Are you man of the match?" Heung-min Son said, "I don't know yet." The media staff were then saying, "Well, we haven't decided yet." And then the next scene is Heung-min Son fans are stating that Heung-min Son is one of the most famous people in Korea right now. A fan was waiting outside the training ground. Heung-min Son then came out and met a lot of the Korean fans, because these people have travelled from South Korea just to meet Heung-min Son at the training ground. So Heung-min Son does whatever he can to meet his fans. Daniel Levy and Jose Mourinho were then talking about Heung-min Son's goal. And Daniel Levy said how good it was to win in style. I've got to say, actually, very impressed with and very pleased, actually, with the relationship that it comes across with Daniel Levy and Jose Mourinho. Now, when Jose Mourinho was appointed Tottenham head coach back in November, lots of people on Twitter, lots of people on social media and so forth were saying, Daniel Levy and Jose Mourinho, that's never going to work. But it just seems that they're talking on a daily basis. They're talking all the time about players' contracts, about playing certain players. They're talking about everything, and I think that they have a very, very good relationship. In the canteen, Jose Mourinho and Daniel Levy were sat there having a cup of tea, and then Christian Eriksen walks in. Daniel Levy shakes Christian's hand. Jose Mourinho then shakes Christian's hand. It felt like a very awkward moment. It really did. Think back to what I was saying about Daniel Levy saying that it was a very strange situation, and the club don't really know the truth about the Christian situation with the contract. And then Daniel Levy says, no way to turn him. Jose Mourinho then says, we can try once more. They then talk to Jan Vertonghen and ask him about his contract, which of course was up at the end of the 2019-2020 season. Jan Vertonghen said, it's a good place to be and I cherish every moment playing at Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. Jose Mourinho was having laughs and banter with his coaching staff again about one of his coaching staff wearing his trousers, right up. And, it was a really nice moment. Again, as I keep saying, Jose Mourinho, lots of banter, lots of smiles, lots of joking around, which is really, really nice to see. And very serious when it needs to be serious. Jose Mourinho was talking again about the points difference with Chelsea. Wolves-Chelsea game, very important because the next game, of course, was Wolves away. He was talking to the players and said that they are very aggressive. Doherty is very aggressive, and it's really interesting now. Of course, earlier today it was announced by Tottenham Hotspur Football Club that we have signed Doherty, and he was being very, very complimentary about him, saying about how aggressive he is and what a great player he is and how he hates playing against him. This game demands aggression and attitude, against Wolves. He was really bigging up Wolves, saying what a great side they are. And he said that we have to win and we can reach the top four. The next game, Wolves away, which Tottenham, of course, won 2-1 at Molineux. Christian Eriksen come on as a substitute, took the corner, and Jan Vertonghen headed home in added time. That put Tottenham just 3 points away from Chelsea. And if Tottenham were to win the next game against Chelsea, we would have gone into the top 4. It then shows a clip of Tottenham defender Jan Vertonghen helping out a Enfield food bank, and then goes to Toby Alderweireld, who then signs a brand new contract at Tottenham. He said, "I don't see myself at another club." He signed a 3-year deal worth £20 million. Heung-min Son then joked in the canteen to Toby Alderweireld and said, "Money in the pocket," which I thought was great player banter again. Jan Vertonghen then says he is really happy for Toby to sign a new contract at Tottenham, and he doesn't know if he will be doing the same or not, but then added that Spurs will always be in his heart. So next up was the biggest test for Jose since he arrived back in November. It was Chelsea at home, of course, his former club as well. Heung-min Son said we're a top 4 team and he tries to improve every game. Jose Mourinho was talking to the media before the Chelsea game and said that he will always love Frank Lampard for what he did at Chelsea as a player, but he hopes that he loses the game on Sunday. The next scene is in the changing room where Harry Kane is effing and blinding again. He said, "This is the effing London derby. Let's win this game." Lots of aggression to the Tottenham staff and the Tottenham players in the Tottenham changing room. Jose Mourinho then takes a deep breath before leaving the changing room and is the last person to leave. Willian then sadly puts Chelsea 1-0 up in the game. Dele Alli was showing lots of aggression, which of course has been demanded by Jose Mourinho. Show more aggression in these games, and Dele Alli was certainly doing that. Willian then put Chelsea 2-0 up with a penalty after Gazzaniga gave it away. And then at half-time, Dele Alli is seen entering the Tottenham Hotspur changing room, throwing a bottle on the floor. A very passionate Jose Mourinho at half-time in the Chelsea game. Of course, Tottenham were 2-0 down, but he said we have to cope with the pressure. He keeps repeating himself, have to cope with the pressure, and we have to believe we can win. If we can get one goal, even if it was in the 85th minute, we have to believe we can win. You know, it's all about belief. In the 60th minute of the game, Heung-min Son got a red card. VAR checked it for violent conduct, and it was given. Heung-min Son then came off. Son walks in and then says, "How on earth is that a red? How is that a red? Please tell me." He was very, very upset, very confused, shaking his head, sat there on his own in the changing room. Son then said, "I felt so bad and so sorry to the club. Because of the red, we lost the game." Even after the Chelsea defeat, Jose Mourinho walks in the changing room and says to all of the players, "1 month ago we were 12 points away and now we are 6. Come on." He's given his players encouragement, and that is where episode 3 ends. We have now got to wait 1 whole week before we see episodes 4, 5 and 6. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Please do put all of your thoughts and comments in the comments section below and let me know what you made of episodes 1, 2 of 3 of the Amazon documentary All or Nothing Tottenham Hotspur. Come on, you Spurs. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you like the shirt I've been wearing in today's video, you can order one of these shirts and many, many more from toffs.com. You can also get in touch with them by email. It is enquiries@toffs.com. All of the links are in the description box below this video. They have an absolutely superb range of retro Tottenham shirts, so don't miss out.